Welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to Christmas Day's very special edition of the dceu Daily. Merry Christmas, everyone. Should we see what's in this cracker? We got a hat. So we're going to put this hat on and get into the spirit of things today. So please don't tear. Please don't tear. Right. Let's try and do this. Yes. Wow. So I really hope that you got all the presents that you wanted to get. I've got no presents because all my relatives are in the UK. They sent some stuff to me, but it hasn't got here in time. So this is all I've got. So what else we got? Where's? I ain't got a gift. Oh, what's this? What's this? What is this? Come on, let's have a look. It's a bloody calendar. It's a bloody oh my. Anyway, crap. As I say, I hope you're having a great Christmas, and it was very important to me to do a Christmas Day edition of the dceu Daily. Just to talk about DC things in general. I am going to talk about a hot topic, a hot take that may upset some people. I mean, it's not really the thing you want to do on a Christmas Day, is it, to upset people? But before we get to that, let's talk about Zack Snyder doing another interview with another hot topic, Grace Randolph, a fascinating woman who at the moment is being cancelled a bit over The Mandalorian. I'm just going to say quickly about her take about Pascal being a diva and all of that. She's not the only person who reported on this. Doomcock reported on this as well. Now, when he was asked this, and I saw him being interviewed, when he was asked this, he hesitated. I believe that the evidence is there to suggest that Pascal did find it problematic that he kept on having to wear the helmet, because twice in The Mandalorian Season 2, basically he took off his mask. That says something. That says that he got his own way in that argument. So I don't think what Randolph said there was wrong. Anyway, she did a big interview with Grace. Grace Randolph didn't interview herself, but probably she'd be willing to do that. But yeah, she interviewed Zack Snyder. Zack showed us a couple of stills of his Justice League movie. He showed us some Steppenwolf. He showed us some Cyborg. Interesting that he blew shade over Joss Whedon's hoodie for Cyborg, which I thought was really, really funny. It was a really good interview. I don't think it really gave us anything groundbreaking. He gave us actually a line of dialogue between Diana and Aquaman. Jason Momoa's Aquaman. Basically, he's all hateful towards his people. What are his people called? Atlanteans, that's right. So she says something like, hate's a wasted emotion. And he goes, maybe, or something like that. So it's good to see that they actually have a conversation, because there wasn't much going on between Wonder Woman and Jason Momoa's Aquaman in Justice League, apart from that whole thing with the whip and him trying to charm her because he's under the influence of the whip, or whatever you want to call it, the lasso of Hastian, the lasso of truth. But it's good to see that she's going to be the glue that holds everything together in Zack Snyder's Justice League, as he described. So it was a great little thing. He wants to give back to the fans, and he's done that. And I think it's fantastic. And it's one of the things we're so excited about. And I really want to talk about 2021 on New Year's Day. On New Year's Eve, I want to do a special episode of the dceu Daily where we're actually discussing the season review, the year in progress. What happened this year with DC? I want to discuss fandom. I want to talk about the announcement of Zack Snyder's Justice League and stuff like that. So go and watch Grace Randolph's interview with Zack Snyder. It's pretty cool. As I say, he's not going to give you too much, but it's good that Zack did the interview. I'm fascinated by Zack Snyder. He does align himself with some very, very interesting people. That his prerogative. Basically, he trusts her, he likes her, and he can go on there, and it's a place his fans can actually do that. It's a shame Zack can't actually have his own YouTube channel where he can just talk to us himself. Maybe he's just not willing to do that. But it's cool that he did the interview. Right, on this Christmas Day, I need to talk about something. I need to talk about Wonder Woman 2017 and Wonder Woman 84. prepare yourselves to be triggered. An interesting thing happened to me when I saw the test screening of Wonder Woman 84, and the same emotion fueled me when I watched the finished Wonder Woman 84. Now, I wanted to go and watch it in the cinema with some people, but here in Cyprus, and I didn't realise this when I was telling you guys I was going to go and see it, is that we actually have this situation in Cyprus because of COVID. And part of the restrictions are from around 8 o'clock at night to about 5 a.m. we can't go out. We have to stay at home. And so there's no cinemas. So that's disappointing. But I am still planning on doing this big spoiler review for that. So look out for it, definitely. And also, there may be a way for me to be able to see it on HBO Max tomorrow. Don't tell anyone. I may be a little bit drunk from a bit of alcohol and stuff, and bloated from all the food. So do excuse me. Anyway. So yeah. So as I've seen this film twice. So one of the things that kind of struck me was when I was comparing it to Wonder Woman 2017 is, did the same person make this movie? Now, someone, I think it's the JoeBlow.com guy, said it as well. And someone actually, is it Zaki or someone, said he compared it to Superman 2 and Superman 3, which is kind of unkind. But, and it's not that campy, but I can see what he's saying. So Wonder Woman 84 is an uplifting film. It's a good film. Now, China have rejected this film. It's not doing very well in China. It could leave the Chinese screens very soon. It's bombed over there. It's doing well in other territories, by the way. But in China, you know, Chinese audiences are very, very hard people to please. I told you the other day, they don't have much love for Star Wars. It doesn't really do very well out there. So I'm watching this film and I'm thinking, how can the person who directed Wonder Woman 2017 been the person who did Wonder Woman 84? It's clear that Patty Jenkins did whatever she wanted with Wonder Woman 84. So the colours are bright, it's very comical, it's very uplifting. But I was thinking about this earlier, and I kind of was alluding to this over on Twitter. Don't forget to tag me and follow me on Twitter at MoviesTVMad. And Wonder Woman 2017 to me seemed like a Zack Snyder film. There you go. I've said it. Influenced by alcohol as well. You speak the truth when you're a little bit drunk, right? And so I feel that Zack had a lot of influence on Wonder Woman 2017. Now, we know that Zack helped Patty a lot with that movie. But the whole thing, even that history lesson we see, right, of the Amazonians, that's very Zack Snyder. That's very Man of Steel. In fact, and maybe you lot are going to disagree with me, and please do comment down below about this, there's a lot of similarities between Man of Steel and Wonder Woman 2017, which is really cool to me because I love Man of Steel. I think Wonder Woman 2017 is one of the best movies in the superhero genre ever. It's up there with my very favourite. It has everything, emotion, action, it's impactful. And although Patty didn't want the third act climax that Warner Brothers insisted on in that movie, I think it was the right way to go. And a better way than she wanted to go. So it's really interesting to me. It just seems that Wonder Woman 2017 is a Zack Snyder film. Now, of course, he was the boss of the DC Extended Universe then. So his influence really told on that film. And I think that's what makes that film really, really good. So, obviously, Patty Jenkins was listed as the director on that film. But it just doesn't feel like a Patty Jenkins film. Wonder Woman 2017 feels like a Zack Snyder film. And that's insane for me to say on a Christmas day. But that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. It's such a good film, and it feels like a Zack Snyder film. And Wonder Woman 84, warts and all, feels like a Patty Jenkins film. She's really heavily influenced by Richard Donner's Superman the movie. Even that scene in the alleyway in the first Wonder Woman, you can see your kind of similarities to Clark and Lois being in the alleyway when Clark stops the bullet and pretends he faints and things like that. So she's very heavily influenced by that movie. that is a bit campy, can be a bit jokey. I actually think Superman the movie has really good dramatic elements to it as well. The first superhero film I saw, in fact, the first film I ever saw, has a big influence on me and how I think of Superman. As you know, I love Man of Steel and I love what Snyder's done. But that's the thing, and I think it's very interesting to me as well, because when clips were coming out of Wonder Woman 84, a lot of Snyderverse fans were being really salty, even calling Patty a snake. And I stood up for her and I was defending her. I was saying that's not who Patty is at all. But then she started, you know, giving shade to the studio and talking about private matters, like the disagreement over the third act of Wonder Woman 2017. And I started to think, then she started talking about maybe not coming back for Wonder Woman 3 if these movies are going to continue not to be totally theatrical movies. And I started to think, maybe the people calling her a snake are not far from the truth. And that's a shame, because she comes across as a really nice lady. I like her. And I think she's a really talented director. And as I've already said, I like Wonder Woman 84. It's not a classic movie. It's not a movie that I will hold close to my heart for the rest of my life, like the movies that I grew up with, or even Man of Steel or BVS. And that's the thing to me. So you go from Wonder Woman 2017, an impactful movie, for example, the No Man's Land sequence. That does look like a Zack Snyder sequence, doesn't it? Let's stop pretending. Now, Patty took a lot of credit for that film, but that moment just seems very, very Zack Snyder. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, comment down below. Let me know. Let me know what you think on this Christmas Day, because it's important what we all think about this. Boy, the alcohol's making me feel a bit tired now. So I thought I'd just get that out there, that I feel that maybe Zack Snyder had a bigger influence over Wonder Woman 2017 than Zack Snyder. It doesn't feel like her movie totally. And then I've had another theory. She's been coming out saying that she may not return for Wonder Woman 3. Now, Gal says if Patty doesn't come back with her idea, she won't do it either. Is it possible that just like a guy who's been dumped by a woman but comes out to his mates and says, no, I dumped her, I was doing her a favour? It seems like Patty's trying to prep us all for that situation. It seems to me that maybe Patty Jenkins and Warner Media really fell out during the making of Wonder Woman 84. We now know it was her decision to delay from 2019 to 2020, and we saw the consequences of that, believing the movie wouldn't have been very good if it was released then, because she felt she would have had to have rushed. The truth is, she was doing another project. That was the true problem. A project that, if you think about it, she shouldn't have taken and done. And she should have focused on Wonder Woman 84. Then the 2019 release date wouldn't have been a problem. So I believe, and she's already said that they were questioning her decisions on Wonder Woman 84, being a bit concerned about what she was doing. But when you look at the reaction from Snyderverse fans, from the Chinese audience, maybe the studio, this one time, had a point. And there's a crossover here from Warner Brothers to Warner Media. But she's been very scathing in a very smart way about Warner Media. Part of this is political, and it's about Warner Media breaking the release window, the theatrical release window. And I understand what she's trying to do there. She's trying to play a power play. But what if Warner Media have told her already that you won't be involved in Wonder Woman anymore? And everything we've seen and heard is just a salty, bitter person trying to make it look like she's the one who's decided she's not coming back. She's doing Cleopatra. She's cast Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot's getting some shade about being cast in that film. Talk of whitewashing and things like that. The only reason Gal's in that film is because Patty is directing it, so she decided to cast Gal. Gal is a beautiful 6-foot woman. You could totally believe that she's Cleopatra. But is she good enough of an actress to pull it off? We'll certainly find out. That film could be the rod that breaks the camel's back. Because if that film isn't a good film or the audience don't like it, if Rogue Squadron, the Star Wars film she's doing, has issues, then all of a sudden, her doing Wonder Woman 3 may look like a not so positive thing. You see, in life, you've got to be careful who you knock about on the way up, because you're going to cross them again on the way down. Very careful. So right now, she's living off Wonder Woman 2017. She's come out with Wonder Woman 84. Her reputation is sky high. So maybe she thinks by making these veiled threats to Warner Media that this could work for her. But you can't fuck with a studio. Jason Kilar isn't Kevin Sujihara. He's not worried about critics and pundits. He has got a plan for this newly formed studio that AT&T have bought. And it's a customer-focused plan, because that's who AT&T are. Now, we know that Jason Kilar and Ann Sarnoff, their history is working in streaming. And they're pioneers. They're streaming pioneers. So it's clear that Warner Media and AT&T are fully focused on streaming. But no one would give up the theatrical window permanently, because before COVID, it's a great window that can potentially make you $1 billion to do $2 billion. Look at The Force Awakens. Look at Avengers Infinity War. Look at Avengers Endgame. So it's there for the high aspects of mainstream blockbuster movies to make a lot of money. So no one's giving that up if they don't have to. But there's no question about it. Streaming is the future. And a lot of people are resistant to that. But if the falling out is more to do with what happened with her decisions of Wonder Woman 84, they may have decided that they're not going to use her again. And I've been thinking about this quite a lot, everyone. Maybe Wonder Woman 84 is the last act of the old regime. Maybe going forward, now Jim Lee's in charge, maybe because they're doing this multiverse strategy, that things will be more interconnected. And maybe keeping her on board is problematic because she doesn't really want interconnected movies. She wants to do her own self-contained movies. And I think any director or creative working with these people now is going to have to be more collaborative with this studio. They will want a more proactive shared universe, as we've discussed many times. So I feel that maybe, and a couple of days ago I said she'll come back, she's bluffing, but maybe the decision isn't hers. Maybe she doesn't have the power here. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. Next year's a big year for DC, a big year. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, massive. Zack Snyder's Justice League, massive. And who knows where Black Adam will show up, either next year or the year after. We will see. So that is my hot take on Patty Jenkins. Now, I want to go back to talking what I was talking about yesterday or the day before, about J.J. Abrams' Superman movie. Now, I was watching a video from the YouTuber Dingus Bingus. I felt Dingus hasn't got a good handle on this story and what's going on. He was talking about Henry Cavill still doing it, and that film wouldn't be released till 2025 because Henry's busy. Look, even if Henry was doing it, we wouldn't have to wait till 2025. It's a ridiculous date. Listen, no one wants to take over someone else's meal when they're cooking it. No, you know, J.J. Abrams isn't going to keep Henry Cavill as Superman. This will be on a different universe. Henry Cavill will be Superman for Zack Snyder, for cameos. But J.J. Abrams' Superman is more likely to be part of the Matt Reeves universe, DC universe, where he's doing the Batman, than the DC extended universe. This is the multiverse strategy, baby. But even something else, that this could be a new Superman cinematic universe with all the characters from the Superman lore involved in this universe being developed. You could have Lex Luthor movies. You can have, you know, Metallo movies. Maybe that's more of the direction that the DCEU is going in, the DC movie universe is going in, as well as doing these crossovers with different versions of different characters, and it being more interconnected within this multiverse as these walls of these different Earths break down. Maybe like Matt Reeves' The Batman, where we're getting Gotham PD, the Batman, his own universe, where we see different characters and different elements of his universe being done on HBO Max for a straight release to theatres. Maybe that's what we're going to get, and maybe that's what J.J. Abrams will do. He will have his own Superman cinematic universe. Maybe this is the way we're headed. You can see that Aquaman is going to have different elements, you know. I think they were going to do, who's that creature he fights in the first Aquaman film? They were going to do a whole thing about that. Then they were doing an animated thing as well. So maybe that's more of the future, with things also being interconnected in special movies like Flashpoint, where there's going to be crossovers and cameos galore. So exciting. So I don't believe that J.J. Abrams is going to use Snyder's universe or Cavill as Superman. Now, with Superman Flyby, which is a Superman story that J.J. Abrams wrote, there's a lot of misconceptions here. J.J. wasn't going to direct that movie, and he had nothing to do with the casting. And we know that Henry Cavill was one of the people who auditioned for that role. So people have added 1 and 1 and got 4. So I don't believe this is a continuation of the Snyderverse. This is something different. But this is what we're heading for with this multiverse thing, because everyone can create their own universes. Everyone can have their own sandbox. But because it's the multiverse and we're going to get all these, we're going to get Flashpoint, that means anyone from different universes can mix. So you can have the Superman, J.J. Abrams Superman cinematic universe, but you can also have crossovers between Pattinson's Batman and Abrams' Superman or Snyder's Superman. There's so much potential for different things to happen. And that's how I see this. I have no doubts Abrams is going to do this. There's a lot of question marks over J.J. Abrams as far as some fans are concerned. People criticising his efforts at Star Wars. I think The Force Awakens was a great start, and if he did all 3 of the sequel trilogy movies, we would be telling a different story now. Maybe we would never have had The Mandalorian and would now have been a shame. Maybe the sequel trilogy would have been really successful if Abrams stayed in one place. So JJ understands this is Superman. There can be no messing around with Superman. This is last chance saloons for J.J. Abrams, as far as the audience are concerned. And it's when his back is against the wall that J.J. Abrams is at his best, in terms of Alias, his co-work with Lost, The Force Awakens. Star Trek 2009 is a great movie, as we've discussed on this channel before. So I believe that J.J. Abrams can make a great Superman movie. But a great Superman movie for all the Superman fans. That's what's desperately needed now. Cavill's Superman, Snyder's Superman is great, and I love it. But it's not for everyone. It's important now that someone puts this amazing character, the oldest superhero, the best superhero, on the map for everyone. This has to be a one-size-fits-all Superman. And that's not through copying Dick Donner's Superman, or Zack Snyder's Superman, or Dean Cain's Superman, or Tom Welling's. It has to be something that JJ sits down and thinks about. We know he's looking for a writer right now. It needs to be something that really works for the whole of the mainstream audience. Because if us who support the Snyderverse don't want that type of thing, we've still got Cavill's Superman, which I believe Zack will work on that sequel over on HBO Max. That's how I see that going. So we're not losing Cavill's Superman. I can assure you of that. But J.J. Abrams isn't going to continue somebody else's universe. With this multiverse strategy now, it's his Earth, it's his Superman cinematic universe, and he's going to do what he wants with it. So what he has to do is sit down. And how do you make Superman relatable? Not to Superman fans, that's not the problem, but to a mainstream audience that think he's your granddaddy's superhero. And I've discussed this so many times. There are ways and means of doing it. It's not impossible, but it's something that can't be rushed, and it really has to be thought out really well. Well, it's Christmas Day. I need a drink. I hope you've enjoyed today's Christmas special of the DCEU Daily. I didn't have the special effects budget to have the free ghosts from Dickens' Christmas Carol, but I hope you enjoyed our little Christmas Day chat. And I'll be back on Boxing Day for more DCEU Daily. See you again soon.